All right, I'm Brett Caldwell and my friend Natasha Tello. Natasha, how are you?
I am fantastic, Brett. Excited to
We
jump into this material.
Yeah, it's our round two of our summer series. We did this last summer on the shift tactics, and this year we're going to dive into the six personal perspectives. Tell me what those mean to you.
It's really, when you think about six personal perspectives, it's the difference between those who achieve at the highest levels and those who don't really achieve much at all, I would say. It's really all about mindset and attitude, how you approach life.
I love it. You know, I always talk about the connection between the big why, or what's going on in our hearts, and the connection with what's going on in our head. And those two things together create the ability for us to go live big lives, right? And
100%.
once we have to make that decision to live a big life, and then once we've made that decision, you know, you're looking for what we would call a roadmap of how to go live that big life. And of course, there's tons of books and strategies and all this stuff. Yet, thinking and emotional motivators is everything. And the six personal perspectives is exactly that. It is the roadmap to how to think like a top performer. Tell me more.
No, I think you really nailed it there. It's all about how you do one thing is how you do everything. And this gives you the little, as we kind of go through this series, it's going to give you the little pieces, the little nuggets that just by making a couple of tweaks, looking at things instead of running away, things get hard, tools and abilities on how you can just ratchet up your life to another level. Like, how do you help break through some of your ceilings of achievement right now?
Yeah, and it's a model, right? And actually, we're going to probably dive into some of that, but let's just kind of list them real quick. The six personal perspectives are self mastery, the commitment to self mastery, and then the 80/20 rule.
The next one is E to P, going from entrepreneurial to purposeful. After that, it's all about becoming learning based, right? Making learning based the foundation of your success.
Absolutely. And then the next one is not having limiting beliefs, but removing those limiting beliefs from our thinking. And then Natasha, I think one of the best ones and the hardest ones and the non-forgettable ones is what?
Be accountable.
Yeah.
If it's up to me, if it's going to be, it's up to me. And that's it. I think accountability, which is can be a harsh word to some people, is the bow that we wrap around everything that makes the big difference.
Yeah. Well, we've got a special guest here to share with us. Let's hear what they have to say.
Hello, Keller Williams family. Mark King here. I'm the president of Keller Williams Realty International, and here to talk to you about the six personal perspectives. Now, I understand that you're not supposed to have favorites, and yet I like to ask people which of the six personal perspectives is your favorite. I recently asked Gary Keller this in a regional director meeting, and he said the first and the last. And I said, tell me more. And he said, commit to self-mastery and be accountable. If you do those two things, if you nail those two things, everything else falls into place. So I thought I'd come on and talk to you a little bit about committing to self-mastery and being accountable. What does that mean to me? Committing to self-mastery for me means being a student of the game. And there's a couple of games going on that we need to be aware of. As a real estate agent, I need to be the most educated, most informed, most knowledgeable local economist of choice. What does that mean? I'm a student of the game. I'm studying days on market. I understand the bond market, what that does to mortgage prices. I watch and see what the Fed does, so I understand how to navigate through whatever environment I'm in. I study every street and every neighborhood to understand values in real time. I know the days on market. I know what kind of inventory we have. And that way I become the person in my local market area who can be the truth sayer to all media outlets, to all other agents, to all other clients, etc. And I become the most attractive person in my market because I know what's going on in real time. So that's one of the games that we're playing. The second game is understanding how important Keller Williams is to the overall industry. And I don't mean that because I bleed Keller red, which I do. I love this company. And yet this is the company that always takes a stand for the agent, keeps the agent at the center of the transaction. This company is constantly trying to keep other third-party disintermediators out of your commissions, out of your earnings, out of your opportunities, so that you can have a life by design, a life worth living, a business worth owning, and a career worth having. And so this is how we think about committing to self-mastery. Are you a master of all the tools and systems and opportunities that exist in Keller Williams? bookend that with be accountable. What does that mean? Well, it has kind of a negative connotation. It might mean, I'm going to hold someone accountable. I like to hold people able. And so when you think of it this way, it's being accountable to oneself. It took me probably 13 years into my career to realize that there was no one coming to bail me out. That as a real estate agent, as a real estate broker owner, as someone who operates in this space, I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm going to need to hold myself accountable and be accountable to my goals. I'm going to be accountable to my coach, which means I'm going to do the homework that we talk about on our coaching call. I'm going to be accountable to my agents around me, and I'm going to be accountable to my culture, meaning you're going to get into scraps time to time with other agents. And I like to always take the high road. It's not always easy, and honestly, I haven't always done it. And yet there's very little traffic up there in that high road. And so the more you live by that, the more this industry tends to reward that behavior and the more successful you become. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. Hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. So the first thing is you need to make a decision, right? What do I want a big life? And what does that big life look like? Right? So that's decision number one. The second thing is, what am I missing? What am I missing that I need to go after such that I'm creating this big life?
Yeah, you got to find the gap, right?
100%.
And then the next question is, have you figured out what you need to go learn? Maybe this course, the 6 Personal Perspectives, these are those timeless principles of what living a big life or top performers, how they think. Those are the learning lessons you need in order to tackle that big life. The next one is really kind of the same question, but it's who do you need to know so that maybe there's a coach or maybe there's a mentor or just somebody to give you a different perspective, because you're really seeking the how. And that really is what we're talking about when we say a roadmap, is if you've made that decision to live a big life, let's help you create the roadmap of how to get there, whether it's a who, what you need to learn, or what's missing out of your life to get you where you want to go. Any last thoughts, Natasha?
No, I'm excited to dive into this over the next couple of weeks.
Enjoy your time in the room today.